It's your girl, DJ Caution, aka Queen G, from the Love Lounge radio show, the Lady of Love here. So I figured I'd come on one more time this evening to share a little bit more of story time. This time we're going to go through a couple of pages. And the pages that I'm going to share with you tonight on story time are exactly a letter, an excerpt of a letter written by Sean Taylor. That's how true it is. This letter is more of a document. It's more of an explanation of sorts. So I'm just gonna jump right in it and give you a little bit of story time. Remember, this is story time, being brought to you by the Love Lounge radio show. Your girl, Queen G, DJ Caution. And it is called From the Cell to the Streets, The Rise of Son Carter. It's quite lengthy, so stay tuned. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment. Let's talk about it. Stay tuned. Here we go. Peace, family. Strong as us. This is Son Carter Inc., live from the pen. It would be remiss if I didn't address this invite professionally, as if this wasn't the one to change my life. Right to the streets. My energy is an immediate release, so why wouldn't I write it, right? I'm on a higher level, so you have to let it float over your head like a halo. All the paperwork is straight. Coming from where I'm from, this is a must. So even though it's like a hula hoop, ain't no loopholes in this documentary. If it ain't facts, it shouldn't even be brought to the table. And even then, you got certain type of dudes that want to infiltrate. So when shit get to smelling fishy, I get to investigating. I don't give a fuck if it's certain bylaws that I go by. And these particular bylaws are non-negotiable. There shouldn't be any negotiations to the rule. And since I am the Son Carter, please allow my ink to rewrite history. It's real epic. Follow me. We allow the issue at hand, so let me break down what I thought was the beginning. And then I'm going to show you how it really unfolded. I swear to God, I'm the illest nigga doing it. Because not too many can say they battled these giants and still build what I'm about to show y'all. I also want to make a bold statement. At a certain point, we're going to holler at the good men in Rock Nation and tell whoever to tell them, let the big homie know I'm worthy of my jewels now. And this piece right here is proof that I've earned my spot. Rock Nation Literature and Films, Son Carter Inc., Pink Diamonds Entertainment. The pink diamonds are all for the ladies across the world, inside and out. There's always that special someone. And with his approval, my signature rock piece is laced with pink diamonds. There is someone appointed to retrieve these jewels in my honor and on my behalf. Once again, this is a live book, live from the pen. It's a difference from rap facts and fiction. Son Carter rewrites history. This is April 2012 on or about at the detention center in the SHU, which is segregated housing unit, also known as the box to those who are not familiar with the term. A few dudes come on the range from the 6th floor. It was said that there was an altercation between a couple of individuals, two from Yonkers and a dude from what sounded like DC because he said the word slim. You gonna get yours, slim. That terminology was often used like a Brooklyn dude might say, son. After a few weeks, a few rotations were made, meaning switching cells. I wound up in a cell next to a man that, as I remembered, he always went out to the rec for an hour with eBay and a few Crips. eBay is not Crip. His celly was, so oftentimes they would return, and then, before the group of men, I went out to rec, where there would be a back and forth with eBay and the man next door to me. It was about the USA Today. The dude next door said he would send it down. eBay was his usual self. He said he didn't want the sports section. He hated tights. eBay was my first celly when I arrived in the Unit 82 back in 2008. My first year incarcerated. When I first arrived, he told me that I was his first celly in numerous. He told me that I was in numerous months. He didn't know that I was moved in his cell after a very familiar face recognized me. And because she was on probation, she moved me out of her unit and to the one across the hall. He used to say that they put me in his cell to fuck with him, or the prosecutors wanted to fuck with me. I learned a few things from this crazy ass. We were cell buddies on 2 different occasions, the other being later on. I had evolved from, a freshman to a legitimate figure. 2014, after finally going to trial after 6 years toe-to-toe with my foes, eBay only likes the fat bees, as he puts it. That's all I know about him. The one day I asked the man next to me, can I read the sports section? He got it to me. It was appreciated. Throughout my time in the box, I used to be on the gate chopping it up with a few of the comrades. I ain't gonna front. It was that loud Brooklyn shit. My name was buzzing. Everybody knew me. No reckless talk, but on the gate, speaking nonetheless. So like I said, it was 2012, and it went from April, I would say we was in at least June now. An individual who later became my co-defendant. He was transferred to this range on the box. He wanted to speak to me about a few things, and I arranged for this meeting to happen. At the time when I was up there, it wasn't no thing to request who you wanted to go out with. Certain groups wanted me to come out with them at certain times. Sometimes it was others at earlier or later times. Sometimes I can get some play and stay out for 2 hours straight. I remember one day the rec cops joked asking me who I was. The mayor? Everybody always wanted to see me. The other one said, "You the Don?" asking sarcastically. And funny thing, I sat for a split second and smiled and answered pretty matter-of-factly, "Yeah, the Brooklyn Don." I had to be exact, you dig? So there, one specific day that I finally made it out with my future co-D, and as I arrived, the previous group -1 was there. It was a young Crip boy. Then next to him, it was eBay and the elder Crip Lex, a.k.a. Krypton. Next to them, the furthest over, was the dude who I recognized voice and appearance as the dude next to me with the newspaper. Come to find out, he wasn't from the district. Although he had an accent and he used the word slim, he was from the South. In fact, he was from Louisiana. And his name was Gangsta. It was the original hot boy himself. For whatever the reason, even though it was from a distance of 2 gates, I zoned in on the man with the golden tooth. He covered up the bust he had upside his head with the kufi. As I locked his appearance in my mental Rolodex, I proceeded to the matters at hand. Goldtooth leaves the scene. During my appointed meetings, I would remind myself to be on the lookout for him. Wasn't he from New Orleans? Why is he here in my hometown? Still here after all this time. And he's 19 years incarcerated. You come through the transit as you go to your designated spot. He's still being here smelled funny. Before I finally left the box in July of that year, 2012, I warned some of the Macs to be on point. A few GDs, and of course, the other good men. The gangs had a lot of young boys who was building their rep inside. I just reminded them not to talk about their cases to anyone. We're going to pause there. I'm going to let that marinate. To be continued.